Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast, brought to you by big4accountingfirms.com. If you enjoy our show, don't forget to help us out by subscribing to this podcast, sharing it with a friend, and providing us with a review on iTunes. Check out the show notes below for the link. Thanks, and enjoy the show.
Today, I wanted to discuss the skills and traits that I believe will be needed in the future of accounting. In order to arrive at those skills that will be necessary, I want to paint a picture of what a day in the life of an accountant looks like now. But first, what did accountants used to be like? Accountants used to sit in an office or cube all day long, and everything used to be done by hand or in Excel. Meetings were more common than conference calls and virtual meetings. Communication wasn't essential, and it used to be easy to sell big projects at the Big Four. Now let's paint a picture of what accounting is like now. An accountant now has no workplace at the Big Four. The accounting firms make it seem like you can work from home or that you work in a trendy office and collaborate. But to be honest, there is no guarantee. One day you might be working from home, the next day you might go to the office for an important meeting, and the next day after that, you might be on a plane to a client site where they still have a cubicle system and they wear suits. And some clients of the Big Four still wear suits, while some of those same Big Four firms allow their employees to wear jeans and sneakers on a daily basis. And when you do show up at a Big Four office, most of the employees are millennials, and soon they'll even be younger than millennials. Another thing that accountants in the Big Four face every day is new technologies that their firms adopt, but also technologies that they are tasked with selling to their clients. It is a bit overwhelming in terms of having to do your daily job and having time to learn about these new technologies. So what will be the skills necessary? The first one I want to talk about is flexibility. You'll have to be able to be flexible. For example, you have to adapt to technology. Each firm is constantly changing their technology partners, so you have to be able to adapt to technology on the fly. It's not just one particular kind of technology either. You have to be able to learn about new technologies all the time because the firms are constantly changing the technologies they use and that they sell to their clients. It might help to get a minor in some kind of technology field if you're in school right now, whether that's computer programming or a business IT program. Another way you have to be flexible is you'll have to have flexibility towards your working environment. You have to be able to be flexible in who you work with and where you work. You can't only be comfortable working from home, and you can't only be comfortable working with people that look like you. You have to be able to adapt to any situation. The next trait that you'll have to have in the future is empathy. You'll have to have empathy. Empathy towards clients and empathy towards your colleagues. This means that if your clients are professional, you have to be professional. And if your team is casual, you have to be casual. You have to understand the situation and understand the people you're working with, understand their viewpoint, and adapt to it. You can't just be stubborn. And what this really means is you have to have multiple personalities in the workplace. And this isn't necessarily intuitive to all people because it's not natural in most aspects of life. In most aspects of life, people tell you to be genuine and stay true to yourself. But like I said before, you can't be a stubborn mule in the Big Four. There are just too many things that are changing all the time, and there's too many different people. If you aren't empathetic towards people from different backgrounds on your team or at your client, then you will lose talent and you will lose your clients. And staying along those same lines, the next thing you have to have is communication skills. I know everyone says that you have to be good at communication, so I'll try to be more specific here. The area of communication in the Big Four where people lack the most skill is seeing their own blind spots and their own communication gaps. And this will be especially important if technology becomes more central in the Big Four. Tax and audit professionals will have to be able to speak to technology teams and understand what the technology teams can do. But they also have to understand that technology people don't audit and they don't do taxes every day. So you have to be able to translate your audit and tax speak into technology workflow speak. And many people aren't good at this right now in the Big Four. So it is a good area to develop your skills in. And you also can't get frustrated at technologically challenged people because those technologically challenged people are usually your superiors, like partners. Partners have very limited knowledge about all this new technology stuff happening. So you have to be patient and you have to be able to talk to them and walk them through your thoughts and ideas in a way that makes sense to their old way of thinking. The people that can see these communication gaps and bridge them will be the all-stars in the Big Four. And the last couple of skills or traits that I think you'll need in the Big Four are the ability to see coming trends in the Big Four and ability to adapt to them. And then you'll also have to be able to learn extremely fast. And I've combined these because I think they're similar, but I also think they're different skills, because there's plenty of people that can see the trends coming in the Big Four, but they don't change. They just complain, and they think complaining about it and bringing it up in meeting after meeting is enough. But the people that can see the trends coming and adapt to them and develop ideas and implement new ideas and new processes are really going to exceed. Let's talk a little bit more about that. I think there's some big trends coming to the Big Four that will change how they work. For example, the way the Big Four currently operate is through a rigid hierarchy. But I don't think that will necessarily exist soon, because I think technology will even the playing field. There will be more collaboration and less insane leverage. And I think this will change. And also with this more collaborative and less hierarchical system will come a change in the fee structure for the Big Four. And this results from, I think clients are beginning to understand that they've been getting bad work product from the Big Four, because the Big Four have used hierarchies and leverage before. And what that means is that the staff are doing the bulk of the work. And in order to prevent this in the future, clients will change the fee structure. Clients will want fixed fee engagements every year and will not tolerate a rate per hour engagement. They're not going to pay a high rate for an associate doing all the work. And then why didn't this happen in prior years? In prior years, it was harder for clients to review the Big Four's work product, because all the Big Four's work product was in paper format, whether that was audit support or tax returns, and clients didn't look at the work provided. And I'm not talking about a simple stapled stack of work papers. I'm talking about boxes and boxes of work papers and binders and stapled pages and, duplicate copies. Everything was a mess. So the most experienced people at clients didn't look at the technical stuff. They didn't know the type of work they were receiving. But now clients can easily review work product in dashboards, and they also expect that work to be completed in an extremely fast manner. You can't provide great work product at lightning speed if you have your newest staff people doing all your work. And what this means for the Big Four is this means that more senior people will have to be working collaboratively with young staff, and that those staff are going to have to learn much faster than past generations. I'm not sure how this will work out in terms of titles. It might mean that promotions will come faster, or just that they'll do away with hierarchy altogether and they'll just be partners, and everybody below partners don't necessarily have titles but just have different salaries. That was just an example. If you could see these trends coming before they happen and adapt to them and develop processes, then you're going to be an all-star, because those trends are going to happen much faster than they did in the past. In conclusion, in order to be a successful Big Four accountant, you need to make sure you have some skills and traits that we've mentioned here today. And those skills and traits are flexibility, empathy, the ability to learn quickly, the ability to bridge communication gaps, and the ability to see fast-moving trends in the Big Four and adapt to them. In order to stay up to date on all Big Four career tips, make sure to subscribe to this podcast.
We appreciate your help in growing this podcast so we can continue to bring you the best Big Four content possible. You could help us out by providing a review on iTunes, sending us an email with your comments, and don't forget to share with your friends. There's a link below in the show notes. That's our show for today. Thanks for listening and have a great day.